Welcome to Talking Comics, where we are bagged, boarded, and pre-recorded. I'm Ryan.
I'm Sean.
Thank you for joining us again this week, you guys. We were really happy with how the last week's episode went. I personally thought it went really well. How about you?
Oh, yeah. I was really surprised. Well, not surprised, but I don't know how to say this without saying like either.
Pleasantly surprised,
yeah,
I guess.
Too humble or too much of an egotistical brag. But it was great Friday night. Thank you, everybody who came down for the tournament Friday night. All the well-wishers that listened to the podcast, thank you for listening. Thank you for the turnout. I want to remind everybody, I know I'm kind of jumping the gun here. We have a big summer bash planned for June 25th at the shop. It's going to be live music, food, a lot of different events we're planning on. It's a big fundraiser for autistic children. And of course, don't forget Shadows over Innistrad this Saturday. Everybody who signed up, you're all set.
That's going to be a big night for the shop.
Yes.
So, as of right now, we have 17 subscribers, 17 awesome people out there listening in.
Or 70 people who just have nothing to do.
We love you guys.
Yes. Thank you.
Before we get into the thick of it, I'd like to announce a error from last week. I am terrible with actor names, and we were talking The Flash. I got Grant Gustin's name confused with the other guy. I can't remember his name.
Ezra Miller. After last night, sir, you're not going to get him confused anymore, are you?
So I want to clarify, I love Grant Gustin as the Flash.
Yes.
Alright, so let's get into it. I want to talk Spider-Man and Black Cat.
Spider-Man.
Kevin Smith title. I know we said to read a Kevin Smith title last week, so here's another one you're going to want to Alright, so it was written by Kevin Smith and the pencil was done by Terry Dodson.
Yeah.
That's his name. It was like a 6-issue miniseries that took like 6 years to write.
To the point where I was gung-ho collecting it, and I forgot about it. I mean, I'm like, oh yeah.
It has some sexy ass cover art. Like, Dodson did an awesome job with his. He brought the characters to life.
Brought Felicia Hardy many times in the shower.
Well, not just her alone, but like, it's also partly due to Kevin doing some really killer writing. But I felt like they really captured Spider-Man for this title.
Oh yeah.
The look, the wit, all around, it was just awesome.
For the stretch of different runs that weren't as great per se, and of course, movies here and there and what have you. The humanism.
Yeah.
Under the mask. Let's strip it down and go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, it made Spider-Man, what's the word I'm looking for?
Real?
More real. Like, it wasn't just your typical web slinger action. Like, there was actual character development.
Yeah.
Like him, thinking, oh man, if I wasn't married to Mary Jane.
Oh yeah. Real emotions all the time. That's this guy's biggest struggle, other than, pumpkin bombs and rhinos coming at you.
It's Spider-Man and Black Cat, Evil That Men Do, which apparently is a allusion to Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. In the play, Mark Antony says to Caesar, "The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones." And I just gotta say, Kev, that's some deep shit. Like, that's like, I told myself I wasn't gonna curse as much this podcast. That's some really deep like, what's the word I'm looking for? Lore, I guess, for the
Yeah,
comic.
yeah. I mean, well, it's kind of. I'm trying to go about saying it without spoiling because this is.
Yeah.
This book goes dark. Goes to a dark place there.
Yeah, it gets dark, but there.
Why not springboard off a Shakespearean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It goes from let's keep this Shakespearean thing rolling. It goes from a comedy to a tragedy, and not the kind of tragedy Shakespeare usually would write. No one got married in this, which apparently is a Shakespearean tragedy if someone gets married. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it was
Freaking 9 out of 10.
the 4-year window or sliding glass door, if you want to look at it, was worth the wait. I finally got to finish it.
And the team ups. Oh, I loved the team ups.
Oh, Matt Murdock.
Yeah, yeah. And if this was a movie, it'd be like the all-star cast for me.
Yeah.
You got Spider-Man, Daredevil, Nightcrawler, Black Cat. It's killer.
God, there's even more, but it kind of goes with the story, and I don't want to, definitely go out and read it.
Yes, definitely go out and get it.
Sitting there biting my tongue not to spill
If you
certain
know
things.
me, you can come to me and borrow it.
Yep.
For $29.95.
Borrow it for $29.95.
2 payments. But wait, there's more.
So how much do I owe you for Quiver?
Oh, goodness gracious. I'm going to keep this as spoiler free. It does kind of end with a cliffhanger. But that's because when writing this was supposed to be like a kickoff for Kevin Smith becoming like a full-time writer for the Spider-Man series. From what I read online.
Yeah, I mean, he did an impressive, and it wasn't very short. It was pretty lengthy. I mean, Marvel Knights.
Oh,
but that wasn't just Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
He do like various things, but everything.
Wasn't he? Didn't he do like a Moon Knight title?
Yeah, him and Quesada.
I'd love to get my hands on that.
Of course, Daredevil, Defenders. Yeah, all that. Just the Marvel Knights. It was like all those characters that just kind of weren't top tier.
The ones that are getting their own TV shows.
Yeah,
now.
I think of it. Yeah.
You paved the way, Kev.
Yeah, kind of in a way.
Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Please stand by.
Alrighty, let's jump into Superman, I guess.
Superman.
The Man of Steel.
Yes.
Kryptonite Comet.
Kind
I
of
just made that one up.
Nice. Yes. Kind of bullied Ryan into doing like a Superman-esque podcast this week, and then of course
I'm not that big a super fan.
lately neither am I, but we'll get to that. And
I did a lot of research for this.
Okay.
I spent a good hour looking up his debut when they first started writing the comic strips, and I did not know that he wasn't even originally intended. He was not originally intended to be a good guy.
Yeah.
He was originally bald and had telekinetic powers, and he was bent on world domination.
Right. Let's go. What was his first one? I'll give you a little quiz here. First Superman, first appearance.
The first appearance?
First, just his debut.
I know that his DC debut, his Detective Comics, which is now DC, I learned that this week as well. In Action Comics issue 1 in 1939.
Correct. 2 little kids in, what was it, Ohio?
Thanks.
Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster.
Yes.
And that's why. See how they change. It was a little kid. I don't know, what were they? Late teens, 20s?
Something like that.
A bridging
Mm-hmm.
of 2 nations, much like Superman. Little American kid, little Canadian kid.
Right on.
So I think maybe the American kid, like you said, started out. He's just domination, a bald, evil guy. Maybe the Canadian kid's like, maybe we ought to make him a hero, eh? Who is his villain if he is the villain, eh? Let's make him nice to people. We've kind of wrote ourselves into a corner, eh? I'm just speculating on that part, but maybe. Yeah, I can go back. What was your first exposure?
My first exposure
to Superman.
The first time I ever saw anything Superman related, it was in that 90s animated show.
Oh, Bruce Timm. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy knew how to make some animated shows.
He's got my second favorite Lois Lane. Totally. Yeah. Mine, it'd have to be the 1952 George Reeves Superman. No, I'm not that old. It was in syndication. I remember running home or walking fast as I could at school. Couldn't wait. I had to see the George Reeves Superman and the Adam West Batman. Mm-hmm. They were up back to back. And I know I've told you this before. It's like, in retrospect, I think back and like, Superman was black and white and Batman was in color. It should have been reversed. Well, later they did, because that was 52, I think 54, 56, they colorized it. Yeah, and I mean, I have I go back and collect like all the old radio dramas that they have, like Orson Welles did, War of the World and stuff like that. The Bud Collyer radio dramas were great. Bud Collyer was the guy that would he'd use just his voice. And the way he did it, it's like he puts you in the moment, like you used your mind. It's like, oh gee, just the way he do it, it's like, oh gee, Lois, Jimmy's in trouble. Maybe this looks like a job for, and he would do that, and it's just like, wow, he's fucking, awesome. And which later went into the they used to have those. Once upon a time, you'd go Friday to the movies, the matinees, the serials, and they'd have those 15-minute things before. Kirk Allen did the 15-minute Saturday matinee before the actual movie. It was he did a Superman one, Batman.
Wasn't his first I think this was the title of the movie, Superman and the Mole Men?
Oh yeah, that's the
that was George Reeves in 51, right?
Yeah, was that what it was? I seem to remember. Yes. I don't know the exact year, but yeah, I think you're right.
I know it was in the 50s for sure.
And then the Max Fleischer animated series. You ever see that?
I'm not familiar with that one.
I'll tell you. Yeah, well, you know his work because it's heavily inspired. Remember the 90s? You just touched on the 90s cartoon. Remember the Batman animated series that Bruce Timm did?
Oh, yeah.
The opening scene with the blimps and the spotlights and the bank robbers and everything. And that close-up, that first close-up you see about that, just look up the Max Fleischer animated series. And this is 40s, 50s, somewhere around there's an animated thing. Mm-hmm. And you'll see where Bruce Timm got. I mean,
nice.
Sweet. I think, can you think of, before Superman, I think Superman's the template. I'm not saying he's the first superhero ever, but he's the template for everyone, not so much just with a cape.
Yeah.
Can you think of anyone before that? Zorro or the...
Zorro, was the only other,
Or the Scarlet Pimpernel. That's the only thing I can think that predates.
I don't even know who that is.
Okay, well...
I'm like a baby or something.
Yeah, there's a bit of a generation gap, folks. And you'll see when we start talking about today stuff. Trust me. And then, I loved all that. And then came circa 78, the Christopher Reeve Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, that had everything. I remember going to see that numerous times as a youngin' in the theater.
I always found the him flying around the world to take. Why doesn't he use that more often? I always wondered to myself.
Because he's a good guy. We don't want to take advantage of everything every time.
Oh,
No, I don't know. I know. There was a lot of things in there, but at the time, I'm just like, he looked like, and he had the Kurt Swan. I didn't even talk about the Kurt Swan Superman, and he had the Christopher Reeve had that. Because they pulled him out. That was his first thing, right?
I think so.
If I remember right, Because I know, like, Clint Eastwood and Robert Redford and Stallone were up for the role. They were like, no, because they put, like, Gene Hackman and they had Marlon Brando and, you know, all the Margot Kidder, which that's my favorite Lois Lane.
Yeah.
You know? You put more big guys around and everybody's just going to focus on Superman as a character, not the actor.
Yeah.
And I was genius. He perfect. That's my Superman. I mean, I will defend that.
He definitely fit, because a lot of a big thing for me is like when actors play superheroes is, do they fit the look? And he fit the look.
Oh yeah.
Like,
he is the look.
When I think Superman, his face pops up.
Exactly, because I mean, when I was a kid, I saw it. Like I said, I saw it as a kid in the theater. I mean, from beginning to end, and they humanized him to a point, but you still felt okay. He's an alien. He's isolated, but they put on that thing, and then the way they did Lois Lane, because they kind of wrote him again. We're going back to 1939. We got two guys working, so 40s, 50s. Lois Lane, women at the time, you know, they're like. You can't be that dumb where, you know, she's differentiated from the glasses on, glasses off, you know, type thing. But the way Margot Kidder played her is like she's obsessed with Superman as Lois, you know, the stereotype, you know, you go on, atypical. But the way she's chain smoking, she's always doing stuff. And she literally, I mean, not just Clark as Superman, but everything around her, she's oblivious to.
Yeah,
like she's sitting there, I got a deadline, I do this. She's got like cigarettes going and, you know, crushing the orange juice and the thing. And she's like, how many T's are in baffle? You know, and she does it like she's just so frazzled. And she was awesome, man. She had so much to do, whereas these other Lois Lanes, I mean, the animated Bruce Timm one, I like that one.
In the Man of Steel, she was like, fucking you're Clark Kent, aren't you? No, I'm Superman.
You have
You're Clark Kent.
That's what we're getting to that.
Should have kept the hypnotic eyeglasses.
No, I don't. See, that's the thing. That's one of the few things I liked about that one. Because in this day and age, that'd be insulting.
Yeah.
I mean, she's dumb. You know, you can't dumb up in the 40s or 50s. You have to find out right off the bat. Boom. Yeah. Not an idiot. You know? Mm-hmm. Oh, just, no. Which I get that. We'll get. What about now? What did they do? Oh, I'll tell you right here. So after the Christopher Reeve movie, they did some sequels.
A few.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. Not so much. 2 was great. I love 2.
Yeah.
You know, Zod and his compatriots and everything, and you know, you're doing the cellophane.
He throws the freaking cellophane on it.
Cellophane, yeah. That and the whipping around the world. Well, let's not forget the super lips, the kiss. It's like, what? I don't remember that.
No, you know what I want them to bring in for some future Supermans. I want them to bring in some of those weird gadgets he's had, like the Fat Ray.
Remember the issue where turns Lois black, and he turns Jimmy. Hey, there you go. You appreciate this. Remember Bottled City of Candor sneaking in the first Firestorm and the first Nightwing. Mm-hmm. Superman and Jimmy Olsen. It's like he could be a villain. He's got this machine just alters everybody's body. It turns them into this. It's like
seriously, he's like one shaved head and evil deed away from being Lex himself.
It's like the bald head is the good ones. That spit curl you gotta watch out for. Mm-hmm. So between that and even the I did like the Superman 3. Did you see that one? It started going after the second one. They were like, ugh.
I know.
Richard Pryor was in it. The Red Kryptonite. And he's sitting there flicking where he's all bad, which I'm sure Christopher Reeve was like, I played good Superman all day. He's probably loving it, just which is funny because they touched on it. Red Kryptonite. Mm-hmm. They did one episode of Supergirl, and I just got that. Matt and I were talking about the same thing, and we were doing that. I was telling him he's just an angry drunk, and he's sitting there, and he's sitting there. They showed a scene in Supergirl where she got exposed to Red Kryptonite. She's in there, flicking the pin. I'm like, there it is.
Nice. I was like, when you said that they had red kryptonite in Supergirl. I was half expecting, because it's a TV show and they gotta have just a little cliche in there, her to just like throw on a leather jacket for no reason.
Dude, she had the leather bodysuit with the S on the right here, and she they gave her a lot to do in that one. That was great. They also did, there we go, Black Mercy in one of the episodes.
Black Mercy? I'm not familiar with Black Mercy.
Okay, here comes the book plug. Perfect lead-in, thank you, sir. Alan Moore. Yep. One of my favorites.
Piqued my interest.
There's a book, and Dave Gibbons did the artwork. It's called For the Man Who Has Everything. Okay? Presumably what it is, okay, we're up at Fortress of Solitude, Batman, Wonder Woman, who is it? Robin. Robin's the first time up there in Fortress of Solitude, and he's like just, geeking out.
Is that where they...
And and he's got the thing on his, Superman, they find Superman. It's Superman's birthday. So they're coming up and giving him gifts, all right? It's very Super Frenzy type. Starts out that way. And the Black Mercy is attached. It's like this vine-like parasite.
Yeah.
And it
takes you
puts
to
you
your
in a coma.
fantasy.
Yeah, and he's home. He's on Krypton. His family's alive. He's living it, but there's just something... You're going through the visions that he's having, but he knows there's just something off.
Yeah. And
he can't quite put his finger on it, but he's never, has no memory of Earth, no memory of the Justice League or any of that, and nothing happened. He never had to get rocketed off, and it's great. And who is it? They have to go in and pull him out. And at one point, I'm not going to spoil anything, it's Alan Moore. Alan Moore, hands down, one of my favorite writers. Get this book. There's a brief moment where the Black Mercy, they get it off Superman, and it gets on Batman, just for a moment.
Once you started talking about it, I remembered that in one of the Justice League cartoons, they did an episode on that.
Did they do the Black Mercy?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Because I haven't watched it all, so...
It was like... except it was just Batman and Wonder Woman. And they're coming in, and she's like, so, Bruce, what'd you get Clark? And he's like, cash. Like, you got him cash? What do you get the guy that has everything?
Oh, really? I haven't seen that one. I gotta go back. I gotta check it out.
And I was thinking, coming from Bruce Wayne, the only thing Bruce Wayne doesn't have is a family. And it's the same thing for Superman.
Pretty much. So, yeah, anyway, where was I? Where did I leave off? Oh, the Superman ones. The Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
As far as my exposure, up until that point, there was a large gap except for 92. There was a little book that came out. Dan Jurgens wrote it.
Dan Jurgens?
Oh, you one of your favorites there. He wrote Thor. I mean, one of his numerous titles, just two that pop up. Thor and Booster Gold.
Nice.
There you go. Big smile on your face now. He did a little book in 92 called The Death of Superman.
Oh, that's, I now even if you're not a Superman fan, you know of this book, more or less.
Apparently, Zack Snyder read it. Because he ain't a Superman fan, I'll tell you that. But that was my exposure, because there was a long gap, at least for me personally. I'm sure there's tons of stuff, because, let's see, what we got? Smallville, Lois and Clark with Dean Cain, who was awesome. Never seen the show, though. That's just pictures. That was 93?
Yeah, it was like 93 to 97.
Yeah, see, I missed that whole thing.
Yeah, me too.
Smallville was another one.
I've watched episodes, but I never really watched the show. All I really know about it is that it's your typical teen drama, except the main character is Superman. And
Hey, you know what's funny about that, though? The names, Alfred Goh and Miles Millar, those are the guys that did Smallville. Mm-hmm. They're doing that Into the Badlands now.
Into the Badlands?
That AMC show, that martial arts one. I'm like, all those names. Because I was doing that, I'm like, I'm embarrassed. It's been on for 10 years, I never watched one episode. It's like, we're going to talk about Superman, you dumb fuck. It's like...
all I really know about the show was, it ran for, like you said, 10 years. I caught episodes here and there. I remember, it was, episode 1 or 2. Superman's in gym class. He like falls from the climbing rope, hits his head on the ground, gets up, looks, and he's looking directly at the wall to the women's locker room, and he can see through the wall.
Just not want to watch it.
I know that they kind of form a Justice League in the later seasons.
I heard that.
They have, Flash, Arrow, the Green Arrow, Cyborg, and I can't remember who else. Except they don't have Barry Allen. They have Bart Allen. So I guess it's not really Flash. It's Impulse.
Didn't they? Oh, really?
Which I dig. I mean, I'm a
Flash
family fan.
10 years, and I've never watched an episode, and people talk to me about it. I don't care. It's not a spoiler. I mean, it's my fault. People tell me, like, Martian Manhunter showed up on there, and Aquaman, and...
Oh, yeah, Aquaman was on the team, too.
Yeah. Sounds kind of sweet. I mean, on the surface, I don't know how it actually played out.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't watch enough of it. I just, know enough about it to have this conversation right now.
Yeah, all right.
I didn't watch a lot of it.
As short as it will be. Did you know George Miller? Do you know who George Miller is?
George Miller?
Mad Max.
Yes.
Dude, do you know he almost did a Justice League movie?
Ooh.
Can you imagine?
That'd be...
Remember, did you see that movie Lone Ranger? Johnny Depp played Tano?
Yeah.
The dude who played Lone Ranger?
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be Batman. And George Miller's.
That guy looked more like he would be Superman.
I don't know, man. This is like, whatever happened to that? That'd have been something to see.
Yeah. You know who was... I read online that Nicolas Cage was almost... I think the thing said...
Tim Burton.
Yeah, the Tim Burton. From what I read, it had one saving grace. A particular writer.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Ready for Nick Cage's hairline. Nick Cage's hairline and a cape. What did you say the whole time? I was dying.
I love Nick Cage. You never know what his hairline's going to do next.
He gets the parts and Nick Cage just comes along as an extra.
I don't dislike Nick Cage as an actor. It's just, I can take him or leave him.
Yeah. Anyway.
Neither of us know.
Am I missing any?
I don't think so.
Pretty much it. Superman, huh?
Yeah, neither of us really know much about Lois and Clark other than it was like a romantic comedy action adventure show.
Yeah. I never watched it. I mean, I've seen stills and pictures and stuff, and Dean Cain, he looks pretty darn good.
Like, this is how I'm picturing it in my head. Let's take like a show like Seinfeld and replace Seinfeld with Clark Kent.
That's funny you say
Actually,
that.
I'd watch the crap out of that show.
That's funny you say that. You know, I just recently, not even a year has gone by. I just now started watching Seinfeld episodes here and there. Never seen it. And he's a big, Jerry Seinfeld's a big Superman fan. He's got like tons of Superman stuff.
I totally forgot that we were talking about that the other day.
I'm like, I just watched this new show. It's called Seinfeld. And everyone's looking like, you idiot. Where have you been?
I kind of hope like this gets back to Jerry Seinfeld. So someone, if you know him, send him to this. And give him this part, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I want to be on that show."
Yeah, that's the first thing that caught my eye was like,
come on,
guy's
Jerry.
got like all this Superman stuff. Around.
Come on, Jerry. Come on to the show. Let's talk about Superman.
So let's see. I mean, Superman. Even if you've never picked up a book or listened to any of the crap that we're talking about,
you know the man.
Yeah, he's pop culture. That's what I was saying. It's like I think he's the template for superheroes.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, he's the one who kind of kick-started it all off, more or less.
I mean, I can go back to like Tarzan, Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
Zorro.
Well, if we actually, I think who is it? The Phantom.
The Phantom.
The
Shadow.
Yeah. Those guys predate him a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Superman was the one that was like, all right, I'm gonna wear like a really cool red cape and like these really bright colors that just like really stand out.
Well, those are his clothes. I mean, that's the thing. You know, they say Superman. You know, put S on there, but was that Kryptonian for hope?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember. My Kryptonian's a little rusty.
It's funny I say that. So here we go, folks. Have hope. Brandon Routh, who's killing it. Legends as the Atom.
Oh yes.
Okay. This is the year of redemption. I don't know. I've seen a few memes here where apparently Ryan Reynolds, you know, everybody crapped on him as Green Lantern. Not the greatest, not the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Redeemed himself as Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
Affleck, Batman. Once upon a time, he was Daredevil. Okay,
Killing it
not
as
so.
Batman.
Brandon Routh as the Atom is crushing it.
Oh yeah.
Once upon a time, he was in a movie by the guy who made X-Men, the guy who did Usual Suspects, Bryan Singer. 2006 Superman Returns.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this for a minute. Let's
Yeah.
see, what time is it? You want to keep this? We're getting in the... This is the movie that I was excited about. Everybody was telling me.
I was excited for it, and I'm not even... Mostly because I recognized the actor, and I was like, I like this dude.
That dude, they were supposed to ducktail off the two Richard Donner movies.
Mm-hmm.
Superman, the Christopher Reeve, Superman 1, Superman 2, okay?
Yeah.
Presumably, Clark Lee, after the run-in with Zod and the big fight and everything, he was supposed to, like, leave, saying, okay, there's other Kryptonians, you know, because basically he feels alone.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's understandable. So, time has passed, he's supposed to go on, and he comes back, and...
Things are just a little bit different than when he left.
Well, number one, Lois Lane writes this... She wins her Pulitzer Prize finally for this article slamming Superman, and the world validated it. It's like, wait a minute, what happened?
Excuse me, Lois, I thought you liked Superman.
I was nicest to you. I gave you the... You got
How many times have I saved your ass?
Right? I know.
Remember that? Oh, you probably don't remember it, but this one time I flew around the world in reverse time so you didn't die.
What do you remember about that movie? You saw that movie. What do you remember about it?
I remember him saving a plane.
The plane at...
I remember a giant kryptonite island.
That was actually pimp. That was a good idea. I love Kevin Spacey as Luthor, but it was it was emo Superman, and it was it's gonna set the tone from here on out, because this is the Superman that didn't do anything. It was that old lady's movie where he's holding up the boombox, he's playing the music, say anything.
Except he's Superman, so instead of a boombox, he's got just two stage speakers.
He's floating outside Lois's window. She's like closing the drapes.
Screw you, Clark.
But yeah, the plane and the bullet scene. Right?
That was kind of a cool scene.
Yeah. Other than that, what happened? Nothing happened in that movie.
I do have to hand that to the movie. Great cinematography.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it's like,
I remember them battling over more land issues, because that's the main Superman plots.
Oh, he's the patron saint of Century 21. Everything is land. I know, yeah. But that was kind of awesome how, like, Luthor built that kryptonite island. He's basically building a world where Superman can't set foot on. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they really, said anything about it. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. I had to go back and rewatch it. I forgot about that. You know, I was like, oh, this what? If you'd have told me that summer that I would like, what's his name? Mark Radner did X-Men 3. Mm-hmm. Better than I would like the dude who did Usual Suspects doing Superman. I'd have been like, you're out of your mind.
Get out of here. We're not friends anymore.
I like, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Radner.
That's an iconic term now.
I'm like, here's this non-punching, emo, nothing Superman, to the point where the only punch that's thrown, actually, it's not even a punch. Remember Kevin Spacey as Luthor? He cuts that piece of that kryptonite ship. He stabbed. Is that the first? Yeah, he literally stuck it in and broke it off.
I was like, why has no one done this before?
Next thing you know, you just keep kind of... Yeah. But And then they kind of wrote themselves in the corner, and again, in a dumb way. The kid.
Yeah.
There was a kid.
And it was obvious whose kid.
Oh, no, not the Lois, though. The Pulitzer Prize winning reporter. She doesn't know where the kid came from. She makes no mention of it through the whole thing. I had to go back and watch it. I'm like, am I just imagining this?
She's like, oh yeah, I got a kid.
Even when the kid picks up a piano and pitches it across the room, she has this wonder, like, baby, this is Superman's kid. Wait a minute.
Yeah, because a condom's gonna stop Superman's sperm from going into you, right?
Do you remember the scene? Okay, he finds the way to, it just comes in. Okay, granted, it was like, what, 20% kryptonite, so the island wasn't fully formed, so he's like picking it up and, getting ready to get sick because of the thing in there, and he's in the hospital. Fucking dumb. But Lois comes in and, basically she whispers something in his ear, and he's well, and he's all peppy and happy, he's whipping around the fucking world again. Basically it's...
What'd she say?
You're not alone. You have a child. Okay? Get it? I'd have been like, when did you rape me, Superman?
She knew.
It's like, why do you think I wrote that report while you were gone? Pay your child support. It's like, the galactic deadbeat dad, It's like...
They made fun of that on Family Guy one time.
Did they?
You ready to go out to dinner, Lois? Yeah, let me just get my purse. And he x-rays through to check her out, and he sees the baby forming in her. He's like, I think we should see other people.
No way did he really. But, I mean, Brandon Ralph was great in that movie. The movie just, that was...
It comes down to what a lot of movies have the problem with, and it's writing.
Top to bottom, man, that Dick Donner one with Christopher Reeves, even the end, the very end, you're sitting there in the theater, he's got you, he's like taking care of, and then that last scene, that Kurt Swan, where he looks right in the camera, like he's looking at you, he gives you the wink, the smile, and he banks off. He's like, I got you too, man. Oh my God, Superman, he's real. And Brandon Ralph did the same thing. He looked like Christopher Reeve. He was great.
Yeah.
Everything.
When I saw the movie, like at the beginning, I didn't think it was a different person for a second.
Right? Yeah, he did, like, wait a minute.
Like, man, that guy is aging real well.
Where's the wheelchair? No.
That makes me think of something I heard this comedian say one time. He was... Alright, I'm going to go off book here for a second, tell this comedian's joke. Can't remember his name. But he was saying how, like, it was Halloween, and one of his friends went as Superman in a wheelchair. He was just in a wheelchair. He rented a wheelchair and wore a Superman t-shirt.
It was Christopher Reeve.
And someone was like, that's really messed up, man. You are sick. And he punches him in the chest. And his friend just sits there and takes it. He's like, he's really a paraplegic. Oh, no, man. I'm so sorry. And he bought him McDonald's.
But he wasn't really. He
wasn't really. He just took the punch like a man.
Hey, man, I tell you, that S, it's hope. I got McDonald's. That's funny. That's funny. I'll tell you another one before we get to this last, because we pretty much zipped through these.
Yeah,
we're kind of blank on 10 years of Superman. A couple other books that are really good. Peace on Earth. You familiar with that one?
I'm not.
Paul Dini.
Paul Dini?
Mad Love. Co-creator, Harley Quinn's other daddy, along with Bruce Timm. Peace on Earth, great. It's an homage to, like, well, I wouldn't say an homage, but like similar tempo to like Hard Traveling Heroes.
Yeah.
With Green Lantern, Green Arrow.
That's definitely on my my reading list for the future.
The kicker with this one, it's like Superman going around, very little dialogue, very little. It's more visual, and the guy to get visuals to do, Alex Ross. Alex Ross does the artwork for this book, and it's basically why he's like Superman, kind of like I can't letting everybody know that I can't be everywhere.
Yeah.
I can't do everything. Even with all these powers, I can't save you. But
maybe if he ran as fast as the Flash, he
the good in everyone you guys can do for you, and it's awesome. There's your Superman, bright colors, the hope. I can give you hope, but you can only do so far. I can only go so far. You have to do for you. It's kind of it's very a Jesus-like character if you think about it. Yeah, dude. Peace on Earth. Paul Dini and Alex Ross. That's another one.
I wish I had a Superman comic book recommendation, but I haven't really read any. Yeah, I got nothing as far as that. I've never really read much Superman.
I got one more. Well, actually, I can go two more real quick. I mean, Red Sun.
Red Sun?
It's like kind of like a Marvel What If type thing. It's like, what if everything happened, Krypton blew up, but Kal-El's ship landed in Russia instead of.
Oh, I've heard about that one. That's a pretty cool.
But here's one I recommend, especially for you, Zack Snyder. Luthor, Man of Steel.
Luthor, Man of Steel.
This is the one where it delves into. It's very Superman light. Like, not really Superman. It's Luthor's obsession with Superman to the point where he builds an android called Hope. Not to spoil too much, and there's some. How do I put this? To the point where he seduces the android. Which kind of opens up questions like, why is he so obsessed with Superman? Is he in love with him? But it shows Luthor the way he's supposed to be portrayed. Mm-hmm. I mean, but at the same time, he goes through LexCorp and he's civil to secretaries. He's how you do he's chatting it up with the janitor. He's doing this, and then as he's going up to his office. Good morning. How are you? How's the family? Oh, and he gets up in the office, and then boom, he's Luthor.
Yeah. One of the big things for me like this is a huge statement on Lex Luthor is the man needs to just ooze confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because Luthor, if you didn't know anything about Lex Luthor, you just saw him, you're like, was that guy in the military? Bald head, stands up straight, buff, he looks stern and like he's ready for anything.
Yeah, Luthor, Brian Azzarello. I'm sure you've heard that name before.
I've heard the name around.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry to say I don't know who did the artwork on that. It escapes me right now.
Well, if they go out and buy the book,
yes,
they'll know themselves.
Tell me. So yeah, those books are some really good Superman books to check out.
All right, so what you guys got to do is you got to go to the comic book shop. They're open Wednesdays through Sundays. You talk to the guy behind the counter, Sean, and you say, hey, I want to order this. If he doesn't have it in the store, you can order it, and then you get it, and then you can talk to him about it.
Say, I heard you yammering on about Superman and Luthor and everything. I want to check these out. I would be more than happy to order them for you. I also heard you picking on Zack Snyder. Well, guess what? I got good reason. Which, I don't know if you got anything else, but that brings me to Man of Steel.
Let's talk about that.
2013, The Man of Steel.
That movie, for me...
What do you think?
It both hit and missed, for me. It hit and missed.
Okay. What hit?
The guy playing...
Oh, Henry Cavill?
That guy's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Charming, handsome. I mean, Christopher Reeves, Brandon Ralph, He's great, yeah.
I looked at that guy and it was like I was affected by some pink kryptonite for a second. I was like, man, he is in good shape. Of course, because it was a Snyder film, great cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just the whole story and the pacing for me. It was just
the story. Just that guy does not know how to tell a story. I'm sorry.
I wish you could see my version of a skew. I start at my hands in my center, and then my right hand goes way off to the right side. It's a skew.
Let's start with so what that's what missed for you? Let's start. Okay, what hit for me? First 20 minutes of the show. Let's talk about that. Krypton. It was awesome.
Oh yeah.
That was cool. I mean, the sterile planet. You got to see, very pulling from the books, and was it Jor-El is like breaking. He's a scientist.
They got a freaking Russell Brand to play him.
Russell Crowe.
Crowe, that's it. Brand. That'd be a completely different movie. A much more hilarious, ridiculous.
We're saving that for might as well have been 2 weeks, but anyway.
Yeah, Russell Crowe, which brings me to a topic I'm going to talk about in 2 weeks on the Batman v Superman episode. I'm going to hold off.
We're
as much as I
talking,
want to
yeah.
talk about it right now.
The Krypton stuff was great.
Oh yeah.
He's sitting there, and it's a very sterile planet. So, what was it again? I haven't watched it in a while.
Like all the babies are like
pre-programmed, for lack of a better word.
Yeah,
like,
they're put into like
you know,
eggs, external eggs, and grown like in a petri dish more or less.
and they have this skull with the codex.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's feeding. It's presumably the skull of the very first Kryptonian.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't say it, but we're just led to believe it. And it feeds up into the certain, and the DNA or whatever matches. Like, okay, there's a worker, this is a scientist, this is a doctor, this is a warrior, this is a protector, this is
Basically, it was a giant ant colony.
Yeah, it was very hive-like.
Worker, army, worker, army, worker, army.
And what does Jor-El do? He whips it out and does it the old-fashioned way. He's got a baby natural way to have a baby. And it's...
Russell Crowe doesn't know any other way.
Yeah, he's the gladiator. But...
Are you not entertained?
But he's sitting there and... Oh my god, here's where Zack Snyder I don't understand his storytelling, because there's just plot holes after plot holes after plot holes. So it starts out just like, now I'm comparing it, like I said, I went on and on about Christopher Reeve. The same thing, okay? Krypton, he's telling, you see the council with their giant hats. So he comes in, and they're not having any of it. He's sitting there filibustering, it's like talking about, we need to go. The planet, they've used all the resources. We need to get out of here. And they're not having any of it. So he goes back to his wife, Laura, puts the kid in, takes off. Who shows up? We've never seen this before. Zod. Immediately comes in, okay? He is, his predetermined, he's just supposed to protect Kryptonian way of life. That's what he's doing.
Basically.
Okay, here's what gets me right off the bat. First of all, he comes in with his compatriots and they blast a big hat person, let them know they mean business. Boom, big hat, shut up. I'm taking over. You're taking over what? I'm going to be in charge. These people, you're right, Jor-El, these people don't listen. But he wants to stay. Now I'm in charge of the dying world. Do you not see the lava and everything breaking up?
Our world is currently imploding upon itself.
And
you just want to chill?
He's like, and then Jor-El tells him, he's like, what's that? I go, that's, the son, he's got the codex, he shot him off. He's like, bring the ship down. He wants to, okay, first of all, I don't know how that's his definition of protecting the Kryptonian way of life.
Yeah.
Considering as he does
that has all our information?
Yeah.
Let's shoot it.
What does he do after that? Remember? Shank kills Jor-El, or he stabs him, which, okay. So anyway, and the planet doesn't blow up, remember? Because so he doesn't do the scene where Kal-El, he shoots off and then the planet, boom. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of dragon riding and fighting and everything going on for a while. Then they get arrested, and what was it? Zod and his compatriots get arrested, and they're put in giant fucking dildos and shot up into space. As opposed to the Richard Donner one that I was so fond of in a giant 70s album cover. They're giant dildos this time. And they shoot him up and cast him off into the Phantom Zone, basically, for lack of better terms,
Yeah.
I know how the Phantom Zone works. I don't know how they were doing whatever.
It's like New 52
The
logic. We don't quite understand it yet.
And what happens? Then the planet blows up. Presumably, so Zod is, and what's his name? Aura, and yeah.
They're
the last Kryptonians.
Yeah.
They're dead. Everybody else is dead. And then they go on, then we get back there, and we see fucking hobo Superman with his beard.
I think he should have kept the beard.
What?
It would have added something to the
I'm
movie.
going to say, how did he shave? Yes, I am going to say it. Anyway, there's bigger plot holes than that. He's rocking around, just being a hobo, working on, swilling beer and listening to Pearl Jam.
Come on, Clark, you're better than that.
Yeah, and
I actually have no opinion on Pearl Jam whatsoever.
Yeah,
but it's popular to poke fun at them, and I want to be popular.
But here's what gets me. Did you notice? They go back and forth and they show like his stuff in flashback, and then they cut over to Zod and his compatriots.
Yeah.
They found other ships, Kryptonian ships.
When they were
and they found the world engine. That's when they released the world engine. Remember, they found a world engine and then they come here. Hell, they found that's again Superman somehow was drawn to the one, which becomes his Fortress of Solitude, which was a Kryptonian ship. So they've been around for thousands of years, colonizing habitable worlds. What was the big deal about getting off Krypton? Yeah. They've been doing it. It's like,
well, apparently,
why?
Kryptonians really suck at terraforming planets.
We have big hats. We don't need to listen.
Well, I think they, instead of spending their time, actually sending real people to the planets, they were, making their big hats. Those hat of that,
they've been
of
doing
that
it.
magnitude.
We're led to believe.
Yeah.
And giant dildos. But we're led to believe that they've been doing this for eons. Because there's ships all over the place. I mean, like, Zod had no problem going around picking up stuff. And, And then, like I said, after Clark fucking hoboing around and being a total idiot, which made no sense whatsoever, we start doing the flashback. We meet Diane Lane, plays Martha Kent. I thought she was awesome in that.
The guy that played his dad.
Kevin Costner?
His second dad. Yeah, Kevin Costner.
Earth Dad?
Yeah. This universe's Superman had, like, two of the coolest actor dads ever.
Yeah, but horrible fucking character. Jonathan Kent? See, I go back. First of all, when he finally puts on the outfit, it's all dark and dreary and everything. Let's just suck all the fucking hope out of Superman.
Yeah.
No, you don't do that, Zack Snyder. It works for Batman, not Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the fact, if you go back, and he doesn't let him do anything. It's like a burden. Like everything that Superman is as a character and as a hero is predicated on the teachings of Jonathan Kent and Martha Kent. And he's sitting there going, no, don't do that. Don't do that, son. Like that bus scene when the school bus guy, you should have just let him. Go back to the Richard Donner one where he was having fun and impishly playing. Like, remember when he was running? Mm-hmm. He's like showing off, but he shouldn't. He's just having fun. Like, we all would if we had those powers.
Look, Dad, look what I can do.
And he's running home. And he gets, the kids that were picking on him. And he's sitting there with that smile on his face. And, Jonathan Kent's looking over, aren't you showing off a little bit, son? No, I was just having fun, Dad. Well, do that. He's all, well, when a bird flies, is it showing off? I'm just being me. I know, son. I know. And that was kind of the way that did it. And then to the point where, you want to race, Dad? You want to race? And he's running. He wasn't doing the super run or anything. Mm-hmm. He was just jogging normally. And Jonathan Kent had the heart attack and died in that Richard Donner one. And he's sitting, and that's the thing I like about Superman. It's like with all these powers, cancer, heart attacks, leukemia. There's stuff you can't save everybody.
Yeah.
And that's what really hits Superman, and I like that. This fucking Snyder, even the Twister, when he's like, no, so what would it taken for him to just, he saves the dog. That just made no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
No sense whatsoever. Right, it just sucked the joy. It's just a joyless enterprise. Whereas even Donner, like I said, I keep going back to Donner. Grandpa Sean's going back to the old 70s. That same year, Iron Man 3 came out. All right? Shane Black, if you don't know who he is, he was the dude, I can't think of the character's name. Shane Black, he was in Predator. The dude with the glasses that was always cracking jokes.
Oh, yeah.
He was on with Dick Donner he was screenwriting for Lethal Weapon, which Richard Donner did. Shane Black, fast forward to 2013, did Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Fun, upbeat having a good time.
Yeah.
Granted, it's 3. So now you don't have to say everyone's like, oh, we only saw Tony in the suit like 10 minutes. That's also got a 3 in the title.
Yeah.
But when you did see him in the suit, you had story, you had beats, low beats, high beats. He took us on a ride. He's catching people out of a plane. They're forming a chain. That was fun.
Even when he wasn't in a suit, there was an Iron Man suit doing something.
And not to mention the fact Robert Downey Jr. is just like a giant tidal wave of charm. He's funny, just a good time all the way around.
Yeah.
I could have went, let's do Demon in a Bottle rather than PTSD, but that's a whole other story.
We'll talk about that on a different episode.
I'm nitpicking now at that point, but yeah, it's just like, and he's doing it again, just so emo and like his powers are a burden, which I get, they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then when you get to that last, like I was talking about that Brandon Routh Superman where he didn't throw one punch.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I got to be careful with what I ask for because that last 40 minutes, 30 some odd, whatever it was.
Yeah. Just constant action.
That was exhausting.
Getting tired watching him fight.
Not to mention the fact that, look at all the destruction.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, help me out here. I'm bashing Snyder. Say something positive.
If it weren't for all that destruction, they wouldn't have had the killer set up for Batman v Superman.
Right.
As much as I want to delve more into that, we can't this episode. But like I said earlier, I mean, that movie, I could take it or leave it as far as, the Superman movies go. Some slightly poor choices in the direction they wanted to go with. I mean, the writing could have been better. Yeah. But overall, the actors did amazing jobs with their characters. I mean, they worked with what they were given.
Oh yeah, the cast is great.
Yeah.
Everything, the visuals are great. Just get somebody else. Zack Snyder cannot tell a story. I'm going on record and say Zack Snyder cannot tell a story.
You put him behind the camera, some magic's gonna happen.
Well,
but not for the story. Like, you're gonna get some great shots happen, but it's not gonna move the story along very well. It's just not his thing. I mean, he's good at what he does.
And I'm not entirely
in his other movies.
I love 300.
Yeah.
I love The Watchmen. I like Sucker Punch.
Yeah, me too.
A lot of people cracked all over that one.
They were great movies.
Yeah. I even love the and I'm really hard about remakes. Dawn of the Dead was great.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think running zombies. It worked.
Yeah. I mean, when you come into something like Batman and Superman and the Justice League, you've entered into a very dangerous zone as a director.
This is, you're like rewriting pop culture.
You are walking through a minefield. And you don't want to step on these. Actually, you can step on. You're gonna step on all the mines you want.
Yeah.
But each mine is gonna yell something crappy at you. This is essentially what he's doing. I mean, you can. I mean, we're gonna keep paying for them. Hell, I'm probably gonna.
Oh yeah, we're addicts. We're both coming from the same perspective. So if I said I'm also a little under the weather, folks. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. And we're both coming from the same perspective. It's not I'm bashing this character. As a matter of fact, I love it more than I should, as does Ryan.
Yeah.
So that's why we take it to heart. He's messing with Superman, It's like, they go back, the philosophy is, you take the material seriously, but don't take yourself.
Yeah.
Have fun, like I said, going back to that Shane Black Iron Man 3, you can see, like it or hate it, you can see the beats in that movie,
Yeah. I recommend you all go out and see Batman v Superman, though. So that way, when you tune in for our Batman Superman episode, we won't have to ruin it for you.
You got 2 weeks from, today.
Next week on Talking Comics, we are talking Batman.
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight is going to be our main topic next week.
Yeah.
And we got a lot to talk about.
I might be a little nicer.
You think this episode ran long? That episode's going to run long.
Did we run long? Oh, We did, yeah. So don't get me started.
So
there'll be tears of joy and tears of rage.
So be prepared for that next time. I'll give out a little teaser for one thing we're talking about next week. I am definitely talking Batman Hush.
Nice.
Sean recommended it to me. I loved it. We're probably going to talk a few Jeff Loeb titles because that dude knows how to write some Batman.
Hush, Long Halloween, Dark Victory.
And I'm going to be putting up lots of Jim Lee stills in the slideshow next week.
The visuals will be worth it alone.
So
just look at Ryan's visuals. Don't listen to us.
Pretty
Turn
much.
the volume down.
Alrighty. So thank you for tuning in.
Yes, thank you.
And we will see you, or we will talk to you next time on our next week's Talking Comics. Thanks for tuning in, you guys.
Peace.